Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm John, this is Many a True Nerd, and welcome back to Fallout 4 Far Harbor. Last time, well, we pretty much arrived here, picked up this beautiful big fish hook trident thing, which I quite like. It's very, very powerful, actually, on the initial impact. I think it's not quite as powerful as the Furious Super Sledge that I've got, but it does actually have the vast enhanced legendary effect, which is very, very good indeed. And we made our way here to Acadia, a synth refuge high up in the mountains above the radioactive fog. We also met up with the children of Atom, who seem to be opposed to the synths. It feels like the synths and the humans actually get on pretty well, all things considered. And this feels like a logical place to pick up that girl, Kasumi, that we're trying to find. So let's have a little look around here. Unless there's anything particularly of interest, I'd say we just head inside and meet up with the synths. And interestingly, up top, at the very top of this facility, there is indeed a ham radio. Presumably, the ham radio that Kasumi was contacted with when she started to suspect she herself might be a synth, though we're not sure what the answer to that is, to be honest. As even after years of research, the flipping guys over in Human Error only managed to come up with a test that was incredibly unreliable. The only reliable way we know is actually to murder you and sift through your corpse for synth components. So not sure how we're going to be able to actually find a definite answer to that question. So in we go. And lots of locked up doors here. Let's just put the weapon away. Ah, this is an old observatory.
When I first climbed this mountain above the fog, I thought to myself, now here is a metaphor worth taking in. You've entered a place of clarity, understanding, peace. While you're here in Acadia, Synthkind welcomes you as long as you welcome us.
Conveniently, this character is totally on board with, you know, synths and so forth, but you're very unusual even by synth standards. Have got all the... You look like a really early prototype, in fact. What exactly are you?
What are you?
I told you. I'm the old synth on the mountain. I know the plastic skin and tubes out the back can be unsettling, but I want to ask you to look past that. Tell me why you're here, and I'll try to help you.
We must be talking really, really early generation synths.
Well, in that case, I want a Nuka-Cola, some stim packs, Kasumi Nakano returned to her family, and, a pony?
I see. I'm afraid some of those things I'm not in a position to give. Kasumi is here. She's safe and unharmed, and you're free to see her if you'd like. Before you do, though, tell me, do you think Kasumi is a synth?
I have literally no basis upon which to make that judgment. It's basically medically indistinguishable, psychologically almost indistinguishable. As far as we can tell, the only way to find out for certain is, to kill someone and then do an autopsy to verify, but that's not exactly satisfactory, so no idea.
Why are you asking?
Because she came here with that very question, and the answer changes every part of her world. None of us take this transition lightly. She's facing the possibility of her entire life being a lie, that someone stripped her very identity from her and made her into something she isn't. I want you to understand that before you see her. She has a chance here to live as a synth, not hiding, not pretending to be something else. One more question, if you'll indulge me. You're here for Kasumi, but I suspect there could be another reason you came to us. Tell me, are you a synth?
I don't believe so, no. But actually, that's a very sensible answer. How would I know?
How would I even know?
I'm afraid if you're looking for some biological test we can do, there isn't any. None that aren't fatal. Instead, you have to look for the signs. Holes in someone's memory. Feelings of unexplained isolation. Odd dreams. But ultimately, you have to decide for yourself. What do you believe? Have you ever questioned your humanity?
I personally believe I am human, because the person who's behind the Institute and the synths and everything is, of course, my son, and I don't believe he has much reason to replace me with a synth, because he strongly believes in human superiority over synths, and then wants me to become the leader of the Institute. So, given he takes a very strong synths don't count, synths aren't people kind of position, then logically, if he nominates me to be leader, I must be human. He'd never allow me to be replaced. But I'm going to be sarcastic anyway.
No. But if I squint real hard in the mirror, sometimes I look like someone else.
I'm afraid when I try that trick, nothing really changes. I know it might seem impossible that you could be a synth, but tell me, what's the first thing you can remember?
Approximately 200 years ago, before synths even existed. But, I can't deny, you're actually right. I can't actually remember my childhood. Either, well, the character may be able to, but I as the player can't. The first point of her life that I'm in any way aware of is indeed the day the bombs fell.
I remember being in my house the day the bombs fell. We ran to the vault. We were frozen. I was the only survivor.
No memories before then? Just a single day, and then waking up alone? We so easily accept what's presented to us as the truth, don't we? Isn't it funny how a memory can feel like a whole different reality? People, places, even sounds and colors can change. Or someone else has changed them. I won't lie to you. There will always be other explanations. Trauma, disease, the background radiation. They all take their toll on the mind. But I can promise you that we will accept you, no matter what you decide you are.
Intriguing. Very, very interesting.
Thank you. You've given me a lot to think about.
I'm glad to hear it. Is there anything else you need from me?
Well, the synths here seem totally reasonable and fine. I'm not in the Institute. I'm in the Railroad.
I'm part of a group that helps synths. A railroad.
Really? I don't understand why a group dedicated to helping synths would convince them through fear that their only option is to hide. Yes, they volunteer for the memory wipe. Yes, not knowing you're a synth makes it harder for the Institute to find you. But the cost, I know how frightening it is. The risk of capture. But sacrificing what you are, avoiding the true struggle to be accepted as our own form of life?
Oh dear. He's got some very valid criticisms of the Railroad there. So do you not want the help? Oh no, I'm just going to apologise to him.
I hadn't thought about it like that. I'm sorry.
So am I. Your heart is in the right place, and it's unfair of me to judge, while I enjoy relative safety from so far away.
So help Chase, help Faraday, help the synths of Arcadia. Sorry, Acadia. I'm going to keep calling it Arcadia by accident because Arcadia rolls off the tongue a lot more easily. Now, someone's coming in here, did they say? Dima. Like Dima. You are Faraday.
Dima looks like he's had a lot of work done.
Well, that's certainly an understatement. Between the two of us, we've made so many modifications. He was just a prototype, never built for all this. It took a lot to overcome the limitations of the original design and expand his memory. It really is remarkable, isn't it? He's overcome so much. He's become so much more than he once was. And all he thinks of is others.
Intriguing. And those fog condensers you mentioned.
Can you tell me about the fog condensers?
Oh, those? Dima and I designed them when it became clear the fog was only getting worse. They're effective, but have such a limited range. Dima insisted we provide them to the people of Far Harbor, and I'm so glad we did. Without the condensers, I'm not sure they'd have anywhere left.
Oh, that'll be the buzzy things that are just floating around the outside of the town. Got it.
If there's anything I can do to help out, just let me know.
Well, if you're determined to help, there is something you could do. It's likely somewhat dangerous, though, so I understand if you'd rather not. There's a boat along the coast of the island. It was transporting some hardware we needed. Storage drives. The boat never finished the trip, you see, so the drives are still out there. I could really use them here for extra parts, if nothing else. My understanding is that the boat wrecked southwest of here, so does this sound like something you could handle?
Yep, totally up for it. And conveniently up the top here, if you just kind of go around the upper area, Acadia storage key. Beautiful. Strikes me as useful. Doesn't unlock that door though. Let's go find the door for that key. And you are Chase, the other person I wanted to speak to. Are you wearing Corsair gear? Or kind of tweaked Corsair gear? The first course we've seen go rogue since Harkness, in fact.
So, what's your story?
I used to be a courser.
Yep, exactly as I thought.
I was tracking a synth and instead found Dima. He convinced me of the truth and the error of my ways. I rejected the Institute, made sure they couldn't track me, and dedicated my life to instead helping synths find freedom. If you're serious about contributing, well, we've got a situation I need someone to look into. You've had some experience traveling around the island, so you may be decently equipped to handle it.
Alright, sure, what have we got?
Alright, I'm listening.
We were expecting a new synth to arrive, and he should have been here by now. There's been no sign of him, and I'm concerned that he might have become lost on the way here.
Well, in some ways setting up your base on the top of the monster-filled Mist Island may have been a mistake.
This island is a death trap. Your scent probably ended up as Mirelurk food.
I certainly hope not, but I'd like to know for certain. You should start by talking to Brooks in Far Harbor. He's one of us, a synth. He's the one who meets the new arrivals and gets them started on the journey here. Of course, he's not likely to tell you anything without proof that you're working for me. If he doesn't cooperate, tell him that his designation is L792. That should convince him. That's as much help as I can give you for now. Please, hurry. If that synth is out there alone, he won't last long.
Alright, L792, got it. And with that, this door has just been flung open, and we can head downstairs and presumably meet up with Kasumi, and I'm guessing all the other synths. Because surely, like all the synths who came here, there must be, a synth society. Very cool. Well, one good thing, more of that recon gear. So there was the recon helmet down in the harbour, and now we've got the recon marine chest piece. Reduces damage while standing still not moving, so this is effectively Sentinel gear. Sentinel gear with 45, 45, 25. Not that bad, though, yeah. For someone who's not taken any of the bartering perks, pretty bloody expensive, mind. And rather coolly, they've got some underground farming going on, so they don't need to go above ground if they don't want to. That's nice. Oh, now this is interesting. Traps just appeared on the chemistry workstation. This is very, very interesting. So we have got caltrops, little kind of spiky things, just out of steel. You can just make these. Chance to stagger enemies. Oh, that's really cool. Bear traps, chance to cripple legs. Okay, so we can have one of those, and you need a rank of blacksmith for that. Pretty heavy, mind. Poison caltrops. Never even come across that word before. Interesting. So if you've got chemist rank 1, you can make some caltrops which cause minor damage, chance to stagger, and cause poison damage. Yeah, these really aren't that strong, but I don't know if they're used up the moment the first person walks over them, or if like a whole crowd of, say, ghouls could do it. And a bleeding bear trap. 39 damage and bleeding damage. High chance to cripple legs. Yeah, sure. I'll take one of them. Why not? Don't see anything else new in any of the others' minds. So, yeah, that appears to be all of the new stuff. In that case, let's go downstairs and actually meet up with Kasumi herself. Got a mask lock door and terminal here. Alright, colour me curious, but no chance I can get through that. Ah, here's the room for that key I got. So there's just a room at the end here I can get into. Honestly, not much here. Basic stim packs, a life preserver. Ah, bit of stuff at the end here. Some radaway, some bobby pins, a few useful supplies if you're on survival mode, some purified water, rat poison. That appears to be literally everything. Okay, let's speak to Kasumi in that case. Hello.
Kasumi Nakano?
Sorry, I'm right in the middle of something.
And what are you working? Yeah, let's start off with some nice small talk.
What's that you're working on?
Just trying to cobble some pre-war junk into something usable. Now, do you mind telling me what you're doing here?
Okay, you don't belong here. I'm a detective.
I'm a detective. I was hired to find you.
You're a what? You came all this way for me? Look, my mom and dad, I mean, those people that were taking care of me, they wouldn't want me back. Not if they knew the truth.
And how exactly do you know you're a synth here?
What do you mean?
I'm not their daughter. I'm a synth. I thought if I just left, it would be easier for them. How would that conversation have gone anyway? I've been lying to you this whole time? Your real daughter is dead and I replaced her?
So how can you be sure about this?
Listen, do you have any proof that you're actually a synth?
Little things. Dreams of waking up in a lab. Years I can't remember from when I was a kid. Not to mention how I never quite fit in back at home.
Okay. Just confused. Well, I'm not going to say those two things. Even if I could pass the checks, I don't want to say those two things. I don't want to presume she's not a synth.
I know. It must be hard for you. I just want to make sure you're here for the right reasons.
Yeah, so I am. I mean, yes. I believe I'm a synth, but there's something wrong here with Acadia. There's more going on than just the refuge. I can't leave until I've gotten to the bottom of it. I've done enough running.
Okay, and what's the problem in question?
What kind of problem is there in Acadia?
It's a long story. I just have to figure out how to... Wait, you find things. Track down answers. That's what you do, right? That's why you came after me. What if I told you that there's a secret? A big secret here, on this island. Something way more important than just one lost girl.
I'd say, how much money will you be paying me to uncover it?
Sister, there's a lot of things on this island more important than you.
If you could just hold the jokes for a second. You saw all those computers that Dima's hooked up to, right? They hold his memories, or offload data from his brain. Or maybe some combination of both? Well, Faraday asked me to help do some repairs on them, and, you know, I got curious. There's like a century's worth of life experiences in there, and that's when I see it. Data models Dima has been making. One was the fog taking over Far Harbor. Another was a nuclear detonation on the island. Plus, death counts. What if Dima is so open and welcoming because he's actually hiding something from us? A plan to wipe out the rest of the island?
No, that's ridiculous. He's running those numbers because he's worried about what the fog might do and what the Children of Atom theoretically could do.
You don't trust Dima? After you came all this way for him?
I didn't come to Acadia for him. I came here because this place offered answers. And now that I found a place I belong, I'd rather not lose it all if Dima is secretly planning to destroy everything.
This sounds like a wild, wacky conspiracy theory.
Personally, I find calculated mass murder to be very soothing.
Look, help me out, and if I'm wrong, you can make all the jokes you want. Now, I've tried doing some digging on my own, but I haven't had much luck. I keep seeing Dima, Faraday, and Chase head into the laboratory at the other end of the hall. Then they come out later looking like they've been arguing. There's actually a storage space right next to there. It'd be a perfect spot to hide and eavesdrop, but it's been locked up.
Already got the key. Alright, fine, may as well. Ooh. Could speak to Dima. You know what, I'm going to try having a word with Dima, just see what he's got to say for himself. I mean, he seems open and reasonable to me. I think she's got a bit of the wild conspiracy theories going on here. Oh, no, that's the wrong way. Now, ooh. Yeah, okay, let's give it a go.
Hey, Kasumi says she's seen parts of your memories. Death projections. For Far Harbor and the center of the island.
Having a hard enough
That's
time keeping up with repairs before all this nonsense with the atom
She
lunatics.
should be focusing on herself, her new life. She shouldn't have to bear the burden of the outside world. Please, this is a matter best left to me and my advisors. We aren't planning to destroy the island. Those projections were merely to help us realize the cost of inaction.
Okay, so what exactly is going on here? I want to help. No, just 1 second. Just a sec. I'd like some answers, please.
I'm getting sick of this whole noble leader bullshit from you, Dima. Now stop hiding and tell me the truth.
All right, you've made your point. There's a conflict that's been brewing on this island shortly after we built Acadia. Between Far Harbor and the Children of Atom.
Simply put, they want to kill each other. and each side wants us to help them.
We've tried to stay neutral, but Far Harbor was going to be wiped out by the fog, so that's when we built the condensers for them.
And I was friends with the previous leader of the Children of Adam, Confessor Martin. I even gave them their headquarters, the submarine base they named the Nucleus.
Which was a mistake, because Martin is gone and the new Confessor, Tectus, is completely insane.
He's been threatening us, to force us to choose a side. I left behind something very important in that submarine base I gave them.
Dima's earliest memories are stored in the military computer banks in that base. The pre-war security systems and Confessor Martin's goodwill were supposed to keep them safe.
But now Tectus is in charge, and he's after Dima's memories. We don't even know what's in them.
But we do know that I spent nearly a century on this island alone. Whatever's in there is too dangerous to allow Tectus to get his hands on them.
Why do I get worried that a submarine pre-war has got nukes on it?
I see. So what can I do to help?
If you're willing to retrieve what I've lost and bring my memories back to me, then we'd all be one step closer to solving this conflict without bloodshed.
You'll have to get through the Children of Adam's base. You're new on the island, so you might be able to pose as a recruit.
Then, once you get to the memory banks, you'll have to use a special program Dima and I have been working on to break through the security systems.
It's not going to be like a normal hack. You'll be breaking through a version of my own mental network. It'll consider you to be an intruder. I've loaded the program with some instructions I've recorded that will help guide you through it. I'm afraid it's difficult to explain without seeing it for yourself.
Okay, interesting.
So how does this program work?
There will be a fairly ordinary-looking terminal with some attachments. The program will give you access to the terminal. Once you attempt to obtain a memory, your perspective might shift a little. Just relax then. The program will explain things to you as you need them.
Okay, so into a machine again.
I'm gonna replace all your memories with pictures of cats. Meow.
Well, I suppose that would certainly make remembering some of my darker hours more fuzzy.
You see, I'm increasingly tempted by that unyielding leather left arm I picked up almost immediately the moment I arrived. Because +3 to all stats, that's +3 strength as well. That's the thing. And that syncs really nicely with Martyr's gear, by the way. Because I've got some Martyr's gear over on one arm. So if I temporarily slow time during combat when I'm at 20% or less health, I get a free, basically a jet injection. So when I hit 20% health, I'm going to be at legendary slow time, and I'm going to have +3 strength. I'm going to give it a go, actually. Yeah, I'm going to slip it on. I mean, that's going to be a reduction in, that's a further reduction in my defense, which is a bit problematic, but never mind, never mind, never mind. Yeah, as I suspected, the most logical conclusion, Dima seems to be basically reason when he's trying to keep the peace, just like I thought he would.
Turns out Dima's earliest memories are in the hands of the Children of Adam. He's afraid of what they're going to find.
So, is that what those death projections were about? It wasn't Dima planning to destroy the island. He's worried the Children of Adam will. Or...
Yes, which was always by far the most logical solution. 500 caps, where you belong completed, 590 XP, and a level up. Beautiful. And next, best left forgotten. So, you want me to head straight over to the Nucleus, the Children of Atom's base, and join up with them. Alright, well I'd say on the way, let's explore a little bit. And let's level up as well. As it just picked up an extra level anyway, sure, let's take some Action Boy and Action Girl. I haven't really taken any so far, but why not? So back to Far Harbor, and looks like rad storms do indeed happen out here as well. Just what we need to see, bloody rad storms at the same time. Wait, hang on a minute. Rad storms canonically only happen because of wind blowing through from the glowing sea. We're miles and miles and miles and hours away from the glowing sea. There shouldn't be rad storms here, but never mind, what have you. Now, first things first, turn in the first part of the quest to, what was her name? Cassie!
You hear me, Island? My friend here's gonna even things up.
Yeah, she's mad, alright.
Who else needs to be avenged? Well, I'm glad you asked. I've been thinking about what's next, and then it came to me. We all love our grandparents, don't we? Kind, gentle, doting, love to spoil you. You'd never want something awful to happen to them. Nobody would. That's why it broke my heart when I lost Grandpa George.
Alright, and what's next?
What happened to him?
He had a farm, little ways north of here. Lived a peaceful life, working the land and not causing anyone trouble. The island sent something after him. A huge monster, mean as spit, and with claws to snap steel beams. A fog crawler. Grandpa bravely stood his ground, a shotgun in his hands, holding off that terror while the farmhands fled back here. If you can take out that shell-backed devil, it'll send a message loud and clear that says the Daltons never forget when they've been wronged.
Perfect. That sounds like a good challenge.
That fog crawler's gonna pay. For Grandpa George.
That's the spirit.
Beautiful. Eliminate a fog crawler. Perfect. But first, I need to tell you that you're an L792.
I'm working with Chase. She told me that your designation is L792.
Okay, I believe you. Keep it down, all right? It's real private information. I know the synth you're talking about. He's a younger guy, maybe early 20s with white hair. Goes by the name Derek. Thing is, he showed up way earlier than he was supposed to. Thought a courser was on his tail, so he rushed the timetable. To be honest, the guy was a wreck. He was scared shitless, looking over his shoulder every 5 minutes and attracting unwanted attention. Tried to calm him down, but he panicked and ran off into the fog. That was the last I saw of him.
That's not much to go on, to be honest.
Can you tell me anything else? I'm gonna need more information than that if I'm gonna find the synth.
I wish I had more to give you. He disappeared into the fog, and I haven't seen him since.
Well, that's him dead then.
If you're really going after that synth, pretty sure he took the road south out of town. Maybe you could head that way. Just be careful out there.
So road south out of town, that's literally all we know. Okay, one more bit of work.
I'm happy to help with anything I can.
If you say so. We get our drinking water from a purifier not far outside of town. We had a bad storm not long before you got here, and it must have damaged the fog condensers that protect the road to the purifier. I sent Howard Dunbar out to fix them. He was out there when the Mirelurks hit us, and I'm afraid they might have got him, too. I was hoping you might go have a look. If the worst happened, maybe you could get those fog condensers back online. If you're up to it, just head south out of town. It's paying work, of course.
Alright, so I've got 2 quests that take me south out of town, presumably this road down here. That all works. Who are you, by the way? Hello.
Ah, you there. Are you that detective I've heard about?
Why, yes I am, my dear.
I guess you could say that.
Oh, wonderful. I wasn't sure how I was ever going to find you. I haven't been able to find any of the local police force. The louts? I don't want to start a panic, but, well, we may have a murder on our hands, and we need an outside set of eyes.
Okay, what's going on here?
Okay, I'll help.
Oh, thank goodness. Shall I guide you to the Cliff's Edge Hotel now?
I swear I've seen that on the map, and it's actually quite a distance away, but sure, why not? Oh no, not too far up. It's kind of pretty close by to where I've already been, in fact. Okay, you actually going to leave me there, or...? There we are, lovely. Got my nice smashing people in the face stick here, so I'm not too worried. This way should be pretty safe. This is the exact road I came up with Longfellow not long ago, so yeah, everything should be fine here. Interesting that you can actually see the fog in the air, by the way. Like, if you come out of it and you're in clear air, there doesn't appear to actually be rads, but sometimes, like, you can, yeah, so now I'm fine, but now I can see this fog here, and as I walk into it, that's when the rads kick in. And is this big building here the hotel in question? It feels massive if it is. Yep, here we are. Cliff Edge Hotel. Huge-ass building here.
The hotel staff really needs to do something about the lobby. I should warn you, some of the other hotel guests are a bit, rowdy. I was forced to defend myself when a few became a bit handsy, shall we say. The registered patrons are in a more exclusive area of the hotel, though, and do not associate with this sort of rabble. Shall we be off?
So I'm guessing we're talking about ghouls then, right?
Several of them tried to grab me and, well, their clothing was certainly not suitable for polite company.
Yep, ghouls then. So follow Pearl into the hotel. What on earth am I getting into right now? A murder mystery in a ghoul-filled hotel thanks to a robot. Yep, definitely ghouls. Luckily, I'm one-shotting the bastards right now. Legendary Reaver, we'll get sneak attacking on him. Easy one-hit kill. Nice. In fact, I think I just Psychic Blasted him, as you very often can. And another one. Yep, another Psychic Blast then. Huzzah. Wizards tend to be quite tough. The fact we can do that is very promising. Defiance. The final shot in the magazine deals twice the normal damage. That's interesting. That's very interesting. Okay. I mean, whether that's ever going to be anywhere near as good as, like, Instigating, say. Actually, yeah, Defiant, if you can get it on something that has a single shot per round before you have to reload, like, I think the Harpoon does, actually. If you get the Harpoon gun with that on, that's basically just double damage with every shot, which is pretty good. Now, what have you got on you? You have a Cloaking Combat Armor chest piece. Being hit in melee generates a stealth field once per 60 seconds. Okay, very situational. Yeah, they have added a lot of new legendary effects into this DLC. I love it. And we've got our first issue of traps here. All of these caltrops that were mentioned. Can I just pick them up for myself? No, appears they cannot be picked up for themselves, but like everything else, they can be scanned in vats. Same business with the fog ghouls and all that. Just, yeah, I don't know what the difference between a fog ghoul is and everything else, but low level, dead now. Another legendary wizard goes down. Freezing missile launcher. Marvelous. 10 points of cryo damage and freezes targets on critical hits. That's good. Kind of, a bit. It's not that good at all, really. Yeah, freezing missile launcher. What an odd... I mean, it's not bad. It's just an odd... Ow! It's just an odd combination. Screw you. Now, we've got over here a trapper. Presumably the guy who, therefore, yeah, laid all these traps. You got any more traps and you have any chance? Any more bear traps? Nope, nothing. Ooh, tent. Trapper's note. Harpoons, Deathclaw hand. What does the trapper's note say? I'll tell you as soon as I scroll down to it, because there's no option to arrange these things in the order you pick them up, which would be logical. This place is crawling with ghouls. Seems like for everyone I kill, 2 more show up. Between that big gear thing and the terminal, I know there's one of these vaults here. We've got a vault. Okay, I like the vaults. Perfect. And if you disarm an active bear trap, you can take that with you, which is nice. But these ones have already been activated, so presumably, yeah, it looks like they kind of break when it. Ooh, yeah. Once they've activated, they do just break if you walk into them. So no joy at that point. Now, where did What's-Her-Face go? Because I kind of was busy looting there and completely ignored her. Yet more legendary wizard, Frigid Revolutionary Sword. 20% chance to freeze the enemy when you block their attack. Okay. That's interesting. Right, again, that one's new. I don't block much in this game. I don't really think you need to. In this game, like, the best defense is a good offense, most certainly. And luckily, I'm pretty sure Pearl is immortal because I'm pretty sure I just straight up murdered her because of the massive arc effect of Big Leagues 4, which does repeatedly hit my own allies, in fact, yes. Ooh, Rotting Feral. We got something a bit more dangerous here. When I say dangerous, I just one-shotted it, but whatever. Oh, yeah. Melee in this game. Melee kind of needs to be slightly depowered. It's too strong. Putrid Glowing Womp. Should be difficult. Isn't. I kind of noticed this droid has been bringing me to solve a murder this whole time. And we've been committing a lot of murders on the way. So far, it just looks like the basement of a hotel, to be honest. Big laundry room down here. Exactly what I'd expect. Okay, fluffy towels. Okay, we now know where there's a stockpile of fluffy towels. And comfy pillows. Not as good as fluffy towels, but pretty damn good. Yes! We've got a vault. Follow Pearl out of Far Harbor, and there is a new vault. Vault 118. And usual business. People with Pip-Boys are allowed to access vaults. Perfect.
Greetings. Welcome to Vault 118. Your home away from home. Underground. Are you the detective we sent for?
You sound distinctly like a Mr. Handy. I mean, there can't be a vault that was built for robots. That doesn't make sense. No way Vault-Tec would have done that. They weren't considered important stuff. In fact, we specifically left Codsworth behind on the day the bombs fell. The Vault-Tec rep specifically said, space for all my family, but not the robots. Vault 118. All the usual things apply, but where are the people? What on earth is going on here?
What happened? Who died?
It's Mr. Parker, the primary owner and financier for the hotel. This is just a disaster.
Okay.
They're at the crime scene again. Don't they realize that they're going to disturb the evidence? You'd better come with me.
I shall return to my workstation and allow you to take things from here.
Why do we have the feeling there's not going to be a single human in here? It's going to be nothing but robots. Oh, this is very nice. You've kept this place in spotless condition. This might be the nicest vault ever.
Not see the glory of the thing, the artistry.
What the hell is wrong with you? Excuse me?
Ezra, you have outdone yourself. This is your finest work. There is more emotion in his days than most have had in their entire lives.
Our friend is dead, Mr. Avita. Have you no respect?
I'm just saying that at least he had the decency to make a spectacle of it. There is nothing worse than
If I may,
That's
if I could just have your attention.
Oh my goodness, we've got robots with silly comical detective accents trying to solve a robot murder.
Please return to your rooms until the detective has examined the crime scene and had a chance to come speak with you.
Please, for the love of God, tell me that after I've examined the crime scene, I get to call them all together, talk through the murder, and then accuse one of them of being the culprit. Please tell me that's what I'm allowed to do. This would be the best quest ever if so. Oh my god, I actually have to investigate the crime scene, interrogate all of the witnesses, and try and figure out what happened. This is amazing. So you were a robo-brain. Obviously it makes sense there would indeed be a splatter of blood.
Is this blood?
Yeah, there's a brain. Look, brain. Brain is fine.
Looks like the brain enclosure was smashed.
Okay, blunt force trauma of some description. More blood here. Lots of blood, in fact. Okay, we'll follow the blood trail in a second. What more can we learn from the corpse? Anything? No. Follow the blood trail, then. Don't need the light on. Blood. Blood. Murder weapon!
There we go.
Ignores 30% of target's damage and energy resistance, so a unique baseball bat. 30% of damage resistance reduction. Not bad. Not a bad weapon. Okay, so we've now got the murder weapon.
What's this doing here?
What's this doing here, Bacon? Oh, I don't know. I don't know what the murder weapon with the trail of blood leading up to the person who was bludgeoned to death. I wonder what that's doing here. Bloody hell.
Protect and serve.
So you're just basic Protectron Guardians. Fine. Teapot and whatnot.
Hello again, Detective. Was there anything else?
So, the residents are all robots. Though, I guess that kind of makes sense. Like, we know these are all experiments in the vaults. It could make sense that Vulture would say, actually, let's have a bunch of robots programmed to think they're humans and see how they react. Do they develop the same way that a human control vault does? Does a robot control vault work the same way? Okay, this is actually an interesting experiment, yes.
Your residents are robots.
Not robots, Detective. Well, not exactly, anyway. I believe the term they use is robo-brain. Back before the war, the residents decided the best way to wait it out was to put their brains inside robotic chassis. Was there anything else?
Ah, so these are robo-brains but without the complete mental wipe that the military robo-brains that we met in Automatron have. These ones kept their personalities as was. It was just a way of surviving longer. Kind of like the brain in Point Lookout, in fact.
Tell me about the victim.
Mr. Ezra Parker was the primary owner and financier for the hotel. He had vast experience managing venture projects around the world. It was his idea to have our premier clients become investors in the vault section of the hotel. He worked with Vault-Tec to have this built to their every specification. Was there anything else?
Okay, and I found the murder weapon.
I found the murder weapon.
Oh no. That's the bat from Mr. McKinney's movie. You don't think he could be involved, do you? I can't imagine him ever doing such a thing. Was there anything else?
Look, if one of your guests actually flipping owned the baseball bat that was used for the murder, yes, that probably is an important clue.
I'm not sure where I should start.
I suppose you should try to figure out how he died, and then who had the means and motive to kill him. Once you have enough evidence, then I suppose you'll need to confront the killer. Was there anything else?
This is the best quest ever. Right, let's explore the place. We now know who the bat belonged to. This is like the most beautiful vault I've ever seen. I don't think there is a nicer vault in the entire franchise. This is gorgeous.
He deserved better than that.
You think I'm stupid? I saw the way he looked at you. You gonna tell me that's nothing?
It wasn't like that. We were friends. He helped me out of a tight spot or two is all.
I couldn't stand by like some pasty-faced Percy while he put the moves on my best girl.
But now the law is on our tail. What are we going to do?
Come away with me. Let's leave this dark hole of a city behind. We can be in Buenos Aires by tomorrow.
Oh, I want to believe you, I do, but they'll never let us go.
Then we'll make our stand here. I've got a gun for each of us.
No, 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 no. The line is, then we'll make our stand here. Two lovers together with a bullet for each of them.
Oh, God. Why can't I ever get that line? Forget it.
So they were just rehearsing a play that happened to contain a full confession for the murder. Perfect. Oh my goodness, they've got beautiful bathrooms. Surely you can't use this beautiful big shower. So, oh, actually, there's a little bit of grime and mildew. Toilet paper. Oh, toilet paper done correctly. Beautiful. The Institute, it's wrong. This toilet paper's correct. Nice. So you, my good man, this baseball bat of yours, you are the prime suspect. And I found your baseball bat with a trail of blood leading to the body.
I found your baseball bat at the crime scene. Care to explain how it got there?
Someone is clearly trying to frame me for the murder. It's probably Santiago. You saw him skulking around the crime scene.
Okay, and that conversation you just had with Gilda that was supposedly you just rehearsing a play.
What were you and Gilda talking about when I walked in?
Oh, we were just rehearsing a scene. Nothing to worry about.
Did you have any thoughts about the murder?
It's obviously Santiago. He keeps going back to look at the crime scene.
I love how much they've clearly directed the voice actors for the female protagonist to really get into this. It's beautiful. So let's have a look-see around, see what else we can find here. One back room. Search for some evidence. Interestingly, up the stairs, this vault has a second level that's a lot more scruffy. Clearly no one was ever really supposed to go up here. This is all just the maintenance area. Okay. The Overseer's office is master locked. Unfortunately. But Maxwell has a key. Let's get the key for the Overseer's office off Maxwell. We're going to need to explore every area to know what's going on here. Nice to see that little animation they made for Codsworth washing the dishes is now getting some secondary use down here in Vault 118.
Mr. Parker locked it a while back, after finding out that one of the other residents had been inside. Said it wasn't safe. If the key isn't on him, it's probably in Mr. Parker's room.
Ah, Pearl is also a shop. Anything unique in your inventory? No, looks like all fairly standard stuff. The Dapper Gent. A unique... What is that? That is... Well, it's a hat, but it's not quite a ballistic weave hat. It's nowhere near that good. Maybe it's like a Mark I ballistic weave hat, but also reduced damage from robots by 15%. Not bad if you were planning to do Automatron and really wanted to play things carefully. And she interestingly has a request for a detective in her inventory. Oh, I'll gladly buy that off you. Thank you. And indeed, request for a detective. As our attempts to contact the local law enforcement have gone unanswered, I've taken it upon myself to send one of our staff, Pearl, to find someone equal to the task. There has been a mysterious death at the Cliff Edge Hotel, and we are not equipped to perform a proper inquiry. Our residents believe there has been foul play and request that you send a detective to investigate. Maxwell, head of staff, Cliff Edge Hotel. Perfect, so you can actually get the little note she had of her. That's nice. Now this will presumably be his room, because it's got the big lion statues on it, yes. And here we've got display cases with unique items by the looks of it. Well, this one I can open at least. I mean, I'm guessing everyone who's here was formerly a film star, because, yeah, there's kind of stage and stuff like that. And props and lighting and everything. So, what we've got here is road goggles, yellow flight helmet, mechanic jumpsuit. Presumably, props from a previous film. Now, anything else that's unique here? A vase, A pirate hat? Charisma +1 with a pirate hat. Intriguing. A whole bunch of skulls. Nothing special about any of them. Oh, but examine them.
Are these plastic? Why would he have plastic skulls?
Because he's blatantly an actor, and he needed them for a role. I wouldn't mind cracking these open, but it looks to me like it's just a basic Chinese officer's sword, combat knife, and revolutionary sword, so nothing I desperately need. And here we are, the Overseer's key with a cute little glowing quantum thing. Nice. Now Bethesda, if you love me, that pirate hat will be able to take ballistic weave. If you have any love for anything holy in the world, that thing will take ballistic weave, alright? Come on, please. Ooh, meanwhile elsewhere upstairs, we've got planters to produce food. I'm not sure whether robo-brains need to eat, but I don't know, I guess they do still have biological parts. They might still need to occasionally have food fed to them or something. That's intriguing. A nice little hydroponics lab. Now this room here. This is going to be where we find something. Up to the Overseer's office. So the Overseer, there was once a human Overseer to this whole process. But not anymore. Operational terminal here. This might give us a bit more information about what went on. And Vault 118 Overseer's log. Right, take that tape out. We'll listen to it ourselves. So, function of Vault 118. Designed to test the social interactions between working class and ultra-wealthy when under confined conditions. Working in conjunction with staff from the Cliff's Edge Hotel, this vault will function as a luxury hotel to attract the necessary testing subjects. Upon beginning the test, additional subjects shall be admitted from the local population into a second, much inferior wing of the vault. Ah, because the other side isn't quite as pretty, it's much less decorated. So kind of similar to the Vault 111 test in some ways. Meanwhile, the change to use robots was incredibly last minute. It was just that one of the 10 ultra elite wealthy people that was supposed to be used for the experiment convinced everyone else to optionally have their brains put into robots at the last moment. There was supposed to be 10 of them and 300 normal people, and it's supposed to be 300 cramped working class people, 10 ultra wealthy elites being waited on by robots to see what would happen. But the test was thrown out because all of these guys became robo-brains. Meanwhile, when the bombs fell, one of the ultra wealthy elite, presumably the same guy who knew all about the robo-brains, locked out the 300 local population. He wasn't keen on sharing the vault. And the Overseer in the end couldn't take this and took his own life up here. Alright, now, still haven't found anything that gives us an answer to the question of the murder. Oh, sorry, my mistake, the tape I ejected. Let's just play that quickly.
Progress on construction of the second wing of the vault is completely stalled. Once the premier area of the vault had been completed, funding seems to have been cut off. My supervisors have informed me that they haven't received payment from Mr. Parker, and Vault-Tec won't pay out of pocket to continue construction. I've repeatedly approached Ezra about the finances, but he keeps telling me that Mrs. Riggs hasn't transferred the funds. However, when I asked her, Juliana said that she had just given Ezra extra for the gold paint in the rooms. I've hired an investigator to look for signs of embezzlement in a few weeks.
Sounds like Ezra was embezzling from his investors.
So we've got even more mysteries on top of everything else. Right, Santiago, I've no reason to suspect you, aside from the fact that someone has accused you. The robot wants to show me something. Why am I suspicious?
Tell me, what does this piece say to you?
Squiggly line, and someone's just stabbed him, right there, so the blood's all, dripping out. Right, so to talk this guy around, I need to correctly interpret artwork for him.
What does this one say to you?
Blatantly it says nukes. And it's not trees in space, it's blatantly nukes. All my gear on in the hope I can pass this check.
It's the war! Bombs from every direction. No up or down. The world turned on its head.
Oh, what a very literal interpretation. I asked what it communicated, not what the shapes on the canvas were. You must have said.
And one final piece of artwork. What does the cute little kitten say?
For art without honesty is just politics.
It's a cat. It's cute. It's a metaphor.
It's a metaphor. A young creature grappling with ideas it doesn't possess the capability to understand.
Well, that's certainly a projected interpretation. Ah, well, Truth be told, this is my best-selling piece. I did this series under a pseudonym, of course.
My god, he was the original artist of the cat portraits! A great mystery of the Fallout universe has just been solved!
I think you should explain why you keep returning to the crime scene.
It's for inspiration, detective. The others do not like to think about it, but even we shall die someday. Like Prometheus's torch, it kindles within me the fire to create as much art as I can with the time that I have.
Paintings of Gilda?
It sounds like you've done a lot of paintings of Gilda. Why her?
Our Gilda is a very singular creature, detective.
And are you in love with Gilda?
You're still in love with Gilda, aren't you?
So what if I am? What business is it of yours? She deserves someone who truly understands her ephemeral beauty, not that brute actor.
Oh my goodness. Maybe you killed Mr. Parker and framed the guy with the baseball bat to try and get Gilda to yourself.
Did you have any thoughts about the murder?
The person you should be looking at is Juliana Riggs. That Philistine would not know art from her own excrement. She and Ezra had a rather dramatic fight recently. You could hear her banshee screeches all the way across the hotel.
And there's an embezzlement subplot involving them too. Beautiful. Oh, bloody hell. At the far end of the vault, there is literally a beach. Is the water clear? The water is completely clear and safe to drink. It is pure. Whoa, that's amazing. Alright, cool. Now, Gilda, we need to catch up with you about a few things.
If it isn't the brave detective. I haven't seen someone with a body like that in far too long.
Oh, Gilda, you little flirt.
Oh, you're not so bad yourself.
You should have seen me before all this. Red hair that was the envy of every girl and legs for days, darling. I'm sure you'd rather hear some of my stories from the silver screen rather than talk about that nasty murder business.
No, I'm totally up for the murder business.
I must say, you're quite the actress.
What can I say? It just comes naturally. Care to hear some of my stories, detective?
Keep on flirting and see if we can just sweet talk her that way.
Have you ever done radio? Your voice is quite enchanting.
Well, darling, play your cards right and maybe I'll whisper some sweet nothings in your ear. Surely you must be here for my salacious stories of the silver screen.
No, keep flirting.
I must say, I've known flesh and blood girls who aren't half the woman you are.
Keep it up, Tiger, and we'll find out if you can handle how much woman I am. Care to hear some of my stories, detective?
How much more flirting can there be? Yes, go on a date. Go on a date.
Why don't we grab a bottle of wine and go watch the sunset?
Sounds good, detective.
What the hell is even happening right now?
That was great, detective, but we probably shouldn't make a habit of this. Catch you later, Tiger.
What? Did I just actually sleep with her? That's literally the first person I've had sex with in this entire game. Literally in all of my playthroughs, all of them, I've never actually had sex with anyone before. And the first person was a Robo-Brain. Best game, best quest.
Hey there, Tiger. Care for more stories about my acting career or something else?
Oh, bloody hell. So, yes, now I can just apparently sleep with her whenever I want. No, maybe we can talk about questions now.
Juliana had a big argument with Ezra a few days before he died. Did you happen to overhear any of the conversation?
Oh, yes. I haven't seen a woman go off like that since Teresa Dubois fired her costume designer. But to get back to your question, it was fever pitch, detective. She had apparently gone to the overseer's office to check on the state of things and found it in horrible disrepair. But, and this is where it gets interesting, it sounded like she found something that really set her off. Couldn't hear what, though. Did you need something else?
What will that be in that case?
Did you have any thoughts about the murder?
Well, it is a bit strange how obsessed Santiago has been with the murder. I mean, he's always been a bit obsessive, though. He did a whole series of paintings of me, hundreds. Said I was his muse. It was flattering for a while, but the man is a bit much. Even for me. Did you need something else?
Okay, so not reciprocated, the love that Santiago has for her.
I found Keith's baseball bat at the scene of the murder. Any thoughts on how it got there?
I don't know, Detective. I can't really imagine Keith killing Ezra. Did you need something else?
And Santiago?
I've gotten the impression you've had an affair with Santiago.
Look, I love Keith, I do. But sometimes he just can't give me the attention I need. A girl gets lonely, Detective.
I noticed.
Lasted a few dozen years. The man's a bit much, even for me.
So, where's Julieta? The one I haven't spoken to yet. I don't think I've run into her as yet. Sorry, Juliana. Here we are. I found them in this little kind of scruffy backroom area. So, Bowtie Guy is the doctor. Now, he just actually said something quite interesting, which is voice modulators can do any voice. They recreate the voice of the original host, but there's nothing to stop them recreating a different voice. Any voice that was overheard could have been faked. Okay. Yes, tell me about the fight with Ezra.
I heard you had a big fight with Ezra a few days ago. Care to explain?
Oh, well, it wasn't that big a deal, really. He wanted more money to pay for repairs on the hotel. I wasn't feeling well that day and lashed out a bit at the poor man. I really should have listened to him more.
And Ezra was embezzling. We heard that previously.
There's evidence Ezra was embezzling from his investors.
Oh, well, I really don't believe that. Mr. Parker wouldn't do such a thing, I'm sure.
Well, in that case, why did you go upstairs to the Overseer's office? What did you find there? Ah, hello. Behind the desk here, what looks like it would have been a safe before it was clearly... and money. Lots of pre-war money hidden behind the Overseer's desk, and what looks like it would have been a safe before it was cracked open. Fairly recently. Potentially. Okay. Someone may have come in here and cracked the safe. Ah, here we go. The doctor, but we've got a speech check with him.
Have you noticed Juliana acting strangely lately?
Oh, well, I'm probably just being paranoid, but she's been so much more pleasant lately. I mean, it's been nice, but also a bit unnerving. Most people don't really understand us, but I always appreciated how she can just take charge of a situation.
What's going on here? Juliana's not the same. Hang on, I need to take some more drugs to improve charisma.
What do you mean? Juliana's not the same person.
My wife has always been a very harsh woman, Detective. I don't know who it is in our rooms, but that is not my wife, Detective. Was there...
Oh, because the voice modulator means it could be anyone. Right. Okay, so it was Juliana, or... Well, hang on. If it's not Juliana that's in the thing, there's only... This is Juliana here. Because you can't tell the difference, aside from just swapping the tie or whatever around. Aha! That's brilliant. Come on, let's confront her. Because Ezra killed Juliana because Juliana discovered about the embezzling, and then they just bloody swap the tie and the face mask around.
I think you're the real murderer.
That's just silly, Detective. Why would I want to kill Mr. Parker?
You didn't. You are Mr. Parker.
Give it up. I know your secret, Juliana.
Or should I say, Ezra?
Yes!
Detective, that's quite the claim.
It's a shame. I thought I could keep the ruse going a little longer. Oh, well. Had to end eventually, I suppose. This doesn't have to end in more violence, Detective. Just walk away. I'll leave, and you can tell them I escaped.
Not a chance.
Not a chance. Your murder spree stops here.
Then let us end this.
Okay, but we need to defeat the killer. But first, actually, go and tell everyone else. Hello, excuse me. I found the killer. And then, oh, I think they already know. Good, excellent. I've got a fish hook. I can help. And started Brain Dead Part 2? Why is that a separate quest? And then you're okay, right, Maxwell? Yeah, you're going to be fine. Just go after him. Fine. There we go. Smash. Smash. And then, oh, I'm going to... I hope I haven't just attacked you. I would back away, please. Just back away. I don't really want to... I don't want to attack because I'm clearly hurting Maxwell. Right, get around the back. Get around the back. Get around the back. There you go. Beautiful. Key things. Ton of pre-war money, which obviously we know was stolen. And where's Wait, where is Maxwell? Why was there a part 2 to that quest? Why on earth was it not just part 1? Also, should I possibly tell the original Juliana's husband? Job done, robots.
I found the killer. It was Ezra. He killed Juliana and took her place to hide his tracks.
My word. I never thought Mr. Parker was capable of something like this. What happened when you confronted him?
I ran away and you were the one that did most of the damage.
Turns out Robo-Brains can eat. And I served him up a heapin' helping of justice.
Well, bravo, I suppose. Here you are, Detective. Payment for your services and a bonus for uncovering such a heinous plot. I don't think we could have done it without you.
You really couldn't. 400 pre-war money. Brain Dead Part 2. Pile of XP. There is, for some baffling reason, there's like 1,000 XP total for both parts of that. That is very, very nice indeed. Okay, you know what, ladies and gentlemen, this is fantastic DLC, and the main reason is because, like, the biggest criticism people have of Fallout 4, oh, it's too much person tells you to go to location X and then kill a bunch of people and then turn it in for XP. No, not at all. So far, it's been sneaking, skill checks, mysteries, investigation, all the stuff I think people really liked in Fallout New Vegas. Right here, Bethesda have been paying attention. This is exactly what I think a lot of people who love New Vegas are going to want out of Fallout 4. So fantastic. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, I think I'm going to call it a part right there. Next time, we'll head to the Nucleus and join up with the Children of Atom there. And I'll also do a bit more sub-questing as well. But in the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, I've been John. This has been Many a True Nerd. And this has been Fallout 4 in Far Harbor's DLC. Thank you very much, and goodbye. Just got to weaken the base of this a little bit more. Yes! Yes! Good news, I'm protecting you! Alex Mason, the man who can literally run as fast as a speeding truck. This game is basically just badasses don't look at explosions the game, isn't it? Oh!